how's everyone doing today? It's Caleb, back with another video. I'm here interviewing my client, and I'd like to also call my friend Brendan Quan, and I'll let him actually introduce himself. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Brendan, and what's going on with your business?
All right. What is going on, everyone? What is going on, Caleb's devout audience, fans, and supporters? My name is Brandon. I run a marketing agency specifically focused on cannabis dispensaries. So what we do is we help them rank higher on Google. You guys know SEO. That's exactly what we do. Help them with their web design so their website converts better and they get more sales. And that's pretty much it.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for that quick introduction. So we're just going to start with a quick and easy question here. What influenced your decision to join us initially?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So as you know, I don't know about a lot of the audience.
Yeah.
It was like the beginnings of Metrik, if you will, right?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Your company, what looked a little bit different than it does today, which is
100%.
a good thing. Change is good, improvements are good. But the thing that really, I think, influenced my decision to work with you guys was there was like an underlying work ethic I saw from the way you guys were talking and the things you were talking about that like I really trusted and believed in, even if the actual offer at the time wasn't something that I thought would work at the time.
Yeah.
It was more so how you guys went about discussions overall, right?
Okay.
I feel that if I can build out a team that knows how to work and knows the effort required in to get the end result, and we'll put in the work to do that, I'd rather have those people on my team over, some really, not saying that you guys weren't fancy, but some really fancy, polished stuff like that, just like a cog in the machine. I would say more of a boutique experience than it was like you're working with this massive corporation.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say we run a more so a boutique experience catered strictly to you right now compared to, like you said, a big boy agency.
Yes, sir.
But with that said, can you describe the state of your content creation and business even before partnering with us?
The state. There wasn't really any state, to be completely honest with you. When I first started doing content, I mean, just like everyone, you hear you hear the Hermosi saying, you got to post 300 pieces of content. The only difference between me and Grant Cardone was the fact that Grant Cardone posted however many pieces of content. And like volume of content is great. And I think with practice and improved volume, you will continue improving on that content itself. But just like with a lot of people, it was just very half-assed. It was like, get your free Canva account, go find nice templates, go copy and paste some information in there. And then once you go ahead and do that, you post it on your Instagram page, right? But at this point, everyone has access to Canva, or at least knows what Canva is going to post it on their Instagram and post those things every single day. So it needs to be a little bit more polished than that. And before then, I was very much just recording my screen, doing a little room video, and then uploading it straight to YouTube, not editing it, not doing anything of that sort. So that's kind of where I was before.
Just had to get it done though. I mean, at least like you got past like 90% of other business owners, right? Just pressing the record button and getting it up on the internet.
Right.
And which is the most important part. That's how we can build upon that, right? But why? Okay, so I like this question. Why did you join Metrik Media Academy instead of using other solutions to teach you about content creation and or facilitate your content? I think this piggybacks what influenced you to join us decision.
Yeah, so like I think ultimately work ethic is one thing, but the knowledge about the service that you're offering is also a separate thing. So it's one thing saying that, yeah, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to do everything. It's another thing being able to do the thing that you say you're going to do. And again, just in the preliminary conversations, like if my only job was to create content and I was some sort of influencer and I was some sort of YouTuber, I would know exactly what needs to get done, right?
Yeah.
Background, lighting, apps, software, Photoshop, blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? But with the knowledge that you guys coupled with the work ethic that you guys have as well, I think those two were like a really, really good match where I can just like fully trust whatever recommendations you guys have for me to continue and use moving forward. Because the last thing I want is to hire quote unquote experts and then have to double check all of the things that they recommend. Like, does that really make any sense? No, I trust that you guys will either have the answer, know where to get the answer, or will work to get that answer. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I decided to work with you guys.
Yeah, wicked. So moving, like piggybacking on what you just said about trust now, how would you describe the collaborative process between us and you when creating these videos and obviously creating the finished product that you see across your Instagram, TikTok, and your YouTube?
I mean, it's super seamless, right? You know, state both of the expectations of what both parties are looking to achieve, both on the vendor side and on the client side. Metrik and Cannabud, if you will.
Yeah.
And then just what we did is essentially we mapped out what our communication strategy would be, and then we just kind of follow the system. And much like with any sort of partnership or anything like that, you're going to go through the initial phase of trying to figure out how do you do the dance, if you will, right? You know, what is the dance? With two people or at least two companies. And then once you can kind of figure that stuff out, you can go ahead and start optimizing the dance, maybe do some flips and stuff like that, and not trip over each other's toes. But we're able to have a relatively seamless kind of communication style just in terms of going back and forth. The videos, I know all I need to do is just upload a file, send you guys a message, be like, hey, boom, the video's up, and then you guys will post it in all of those different things, right? And the Slack is also useful to go back and forth for just those quick messages.
I think over time we've definitely ironed out the communication.
Yeah.
It has been a work in progress between our party and your party. But one thing I do like is that we were able to take your feedback and then change on that, right? And then bring it back to the table. And now obviously it's much more seamless. It's way easier from what we came from. Were there any specific tools, technologies, or strategies that we utilized that stood out to you in your content creation process?
Tools. I mean, I don't even really know what tools you guys use. Like it's your secret sauce, right?
You know what? Like, wait. Before you go on and answer that, I know you haven't really been we haven't shown too much about like the technicals of everything. But yeah, just if you have any feedback to give to that question right there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like the tools, like I said, my trust is in the end results, not how you guys got the result in the first place, right? So I don't want to be the client that micromanage. Hey, how are you doing this? Are you using this software? Like, no, like if you're getting the work done, you're getting the work done. You can get it done in 1 second. Same thing, you get it done in, a million seconds, whatever it is. The end result is the end results. We agree what we pay for, and then that's pretty much it, right? But more so the techniques and stuff on the short form real content side of things, it's nothing new, but it like made sense, and like that's what I would do. So like A/B testing different videos, right? Testing different captions, testing different thumbnails, adding text in the thumbnail to see what's going on, right? All of these different things really contribute to a growing process. And I think that something super underrated, I don't even know if you guys know what you guys are doing, but it's all about like the way you incrementally improve the process versus, hey, here are some deliverables and we're just going to do the same thing every month, right? It's like, we're going to do this thing month one, track the information, plot our course accordingly, and then do something different for month two. And it doesn't have to be different like you're trying something completely new. It can just be small incremental changes to see what works best and what doesn't work best. It's not like, hey, we're going to post 4 videos and the videos are going to be the exact same. It's like, hey, Brandon, I think this style of video would help you convert your audience a little bit better. Let's start a transition to do this, right? And this is literally what we're actively working on at this point, right?
No, most definitely. I think that's what our staple is. It's always improving. Like I had a conversation with you the other day. I said after the editor finished with the final result of the video, I had you watch it and then come back to me and said, okay, I'm gonna do this and this in the next video. And you're like, okay, I like that. And we just if you put our finished product from June compared to now in September, you would like, it's insane, right? Like this is what we're here for. So I'm happy that you think that, and that and that you're like, I don't know if you guys do it, but no, that's definitely something that we have built everything upon. So how have we accommodated your feedback and revisions throughout the content creation process? So
So the content creation process, again, it's more of a macro thing than a micro thing. Like, it's not really like, what do you think about me specifically talking about SEO, right? It's like, hey, let's talk about removing your intro because everyone knows who you are, and then adding a hook at the beginning of the video, right? The feedback is, I think it also works both ways too, right? Of course. Like, you're giving me feedback on specific things, I've been giving you feedback on other things, and I think like that's the most important piece. And actually, more important than that is both of us doing or taking in the feedback of what the other person says, which now that I'm talking that out right now, it just makes sense because you and I can go back and like we've talked a lot. We've had a
lot of conversations for
but
sure.
None of that means anything if we don't take the feedback and execute on the feedback at the same time, right? So I think the feedback is super, super key. And again, you guys are showing your expertise just based on the information that you have, the different notes that you're taking, looking at different people in the space and seeing like how we can use those things to help, I guess, grow my channel and stuff.
Okay, perfect. So this question I have is actually more so for the audience and for future clients, if you will. Can you share any metrics or KPIs that have improved as a result of the end product that we have provided for you?
I mean,
Off the top, if you have.
I mean, like subscriber count. I mean, okay, so to give context as to who my channel and stuff like that, I'm no YouTube influencer. I'm no YouTuber. I'm not a podcaster. I'm an agency, right? So when I first started, I mean, I told these guys like, look, I'm not looking to get 1 million followers. I'm just looking for the people who I want watching my video to end up clicking the video to want to work with me. Right? Like ultimately that's it. So to me, these metrics are great. To whoever's listening, I don't know, maybe you might not like
it doesn't like wait, hold on, let me give you some context. It doesn't necessarily have to be like subscriber count, but like since your goal is to just get the people that you want to work with to watch your stuff, how has that changed from the improvements that we've made over the past couple of months? How has that inbound flow changed for you? Like what? For example, sorry, like for example, just before this call, you mentioned something about someone going to Instagram and then to YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the buyer journey of my inbound clients have changed significantly. Just to quickly give a brief on the subscriber count and stuff like that. Like I think on YouTube, I'm at about 360, 370 subscribers or something like that now. With I don't know however many people are following on TikTok and Instagram and all those things. But that I think 4x'd since we started working together. And that was probably within only a couple of months because
it was like 2-3 months,
right? Because we've only pivoted up until recently, right? So in terms of us working together on the strategy that you guys are using, I think we've 3-4x our subscriber count just like that, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of the buyer journey, I mean, the inbound buyer journey is so much easier and so much nicer than the outbound journey, right? I was telling you earlier, is like the guy found me on YouTube. And then from YouTube, he found me on Instagram. From Instagram, he sent me his phone number. From his phone number, I texted him and then texted him to email. It's like crazy, right? You don't really plan for this stuff, and you have that sort of like inbound omnipresence where people are seeing you everywhere, which is really, really cool. That's been awesome. And just like overall, people are now wanting to work with me. They're like, hey, I watch your YouTube videos. Like you do some really cool stuff. I'm like, thank you very much. Right. And you're automatically positioned as the expert, right? You're automatically there and people want to work with you. I tell people like, hey, I don't think we're a good fit. They're like, oh man, I really want to work together. I'm like, sorry. Like,
just because of the videos
going on. Right. And it's good being able to turn down clients and things like that. I'm not saying I want to just turn down people, but knowing that the difference between now and before was that I was like very scarce in getting clients. Like I wasn't sure when my next client was going to come. I don't know what's happening. But now we have this like big media asset that continues bringing in fresh inbound leads all the time, which is great. Can't complain.
Of course. We should change this video to I turn my clients away now because I have so many.
I mean, go ahead. I like so.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So what advice now would you give other businesses considering to work with our Content Creation Academy or any Content Creation Academy?
Right.
For that much.
At the end of the day, the content is you, right? Like whether you go with Metrik or go with whatever, or you want to spend $100,000 a month on whoever it is that's going to work with you. Like, you are the content at the end of the day. So if you're not continually improving your own product so that you get better, i.e. the information that you consume and the way that you communicate, and then how you can clearly communicate the things that are inside your head to the regular audience, that's super, super key. Because you can go and cut up and chop up and put some stock images and put subtitles and flashy pop-ups in back and forth as much as you want. But at the end of the day, if what you're saying, if the words that are coming out of your mouth are crap, then it doesn't matter what you're going to have. Right. So that's one of the things. And then the second thing is like, if you want to do content, then do content. Right. But set up a good system in a way that lets you create content. Because again, if, Caleb reaches out, say, hey man, we're looking for your video for this month. Right. And you don't reply back in 2 months and you're like, hey, what's going on? Then like you can't expect him to magically create content out of thin air. So on both sides, like I want you guys to know that Metrik will do the work that is necessary of them, but you also need to do the work necessary of you. And then it's a collaborative effort than you paying somebody to offload this your entire plate.
No, of course. I just want to I want to highlight that the work that you guys have to do is extremely minimal in comparison to everything that's going on. If you ask Brendan, he turns on a camera, he speaks into the camera, and then sends us the video, and that's it, right? Like that, it's nothing more than that. And that's all we want it to be, right? We don't want to have you like we've talked multiple times, me and you, Brendan, about having that time to leverage, like taking all that time out of the process of the content creation, so you could
Yeah.
just record and then leverage all that time for other areas of your business. Um, what would you recommend our academy to other businesses and why?
Of course. I mean, I wouldn't be on this call if I wouldn't recommend you guys. Everything that I said before, right? I think from a partnership level, the way I
Yeah.
want to grow my team is like, am I working with people that I want to work with every single day? Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
my number one thing. It doesn't matter if you promise the moon and all this stuff. Like, if you are absolute, just dickheads, right? Like, I don't like working with you. So, these guys, opposite of that, really, really cool guys, cool team, good strategy. Like, they know what they're talking about and everything like that. And most importantly, they deliver on the things that they say they're going to. And I think that's the marker of not just a good partnership, but just as a good person. You say you're going to do something, you get it done, or at least you try to get it done.
Of
And
course.
you can rest assured that, if you're working with these guys, they'll get it done for you.
Of course. I also like just to hold on the next question, I just have to give you an extreme amount of props as well, just because of the amount of growth that like you have gone through since joining us. And that's not only like the end product or the content, but like you yourself, like we'll give you something, we'll give you feedback based on the way you talk or based on like the script that you write, and you will take it willingly, right? And you'll change it. And the thing is, you only know that we know what we're talking about because you have taken that feedback
Yeah.
willingly and you have made those changes, and now you see those changes in effect. You see the influx of inbound traffic now because of the feedback we've given you and because you've been so open to it, right?
Right.
Like the base we're trying to build here is not necessarily an agency where it's very transactional. It's more so an academy that replicates the school system where we teach you something and you take that and you put it into your skill set, right? And you have. So not only and I'm glad to have you here as one of our clients, but also to watch you grow and as even as a content creator. You said I hate content at the beginning. You're like I don't want to do content, this and that, and then now you're just you. It's become so easy for you, right? Because it's just the little things that you've tweaked that have made it so much easier for you. But do you have any final remarks or anything you would like to add about your experience with our company?
If you all are looking to take your content game to the next level, just join Metric. I don't know what you guys are saying right now. Like, like that's pretty much it, man. Like, I mean, like at this point, it's like you either want to do it or you don't want to do it, right? Do you
Of
want to take
course.
content seriously or do you not want to do it? And if you're looking for a team to not only just take a bunch off your plate from a service standpoint, but
Mm,
also provide you with information from like an expertise standpoint, like it's the perfect mix of the two, right? Because some people only do the coaching side and some people only do the fulfillment side and get upset at you if you don't do all these different things. But
mm.
you will have a team working with Metrik that'll be able to, kind of put all the pieces together where they will be able to educate you on how to create better content and then also create the better content for you yourself.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Mr. Quan, for joining me
Sure.
today. It has been an absolute pleasure working with you. I'm your client as much as you are mine, and that's how I like to see it. We like to see everything here as a partnership, and yeah, it has been a beautiful partnership, and we want it to continue for as long as it possibly can, for as long as it is fruitful for both of us. So, anyone else who is watching this interview, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Brandon Quan. I've been Caleb Rainford of Metrik Media Academy, and I hope you guys all have a great day.
See you guys later.